Hello everyone, welcome to your YouTube channel IELTS by Neil. Today we are going to discuss how to do the bar graph type of question. So bar graphs are one of the type of question in IELTS academic exam. Okay, so IELTS is of two types. Number one is academic, number two is general training. Okay, and both of these exams are divided into four things: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And same goes for this one: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Okay, basically both are same except for reading and writing. Listening and speaking are same for both of these exams. Okay, so we're going to talk about the writing today. So as you know, in the writing IELTS we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. Same here, we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. So with the task 1 in academic, we have questions like bar graph, pie charts, maps. Basically, there's pictorial questions. We call them, you will be given diagrams in the form of this. This is a pie chart and might be a table. So there's 6 or 7 types of questions. Okay, so one of the type of question from these one is a bar graph. How to describe the bar graph. Okay, so we're gonna do the bar graph today. Okay, so these are the type of questions which are there in IELTS writing task 1 academic. Okay, so line graph, bar graph, pie charts, table, process diagrams, and the flow charts, they're under the same category, and the maps. So in our coming videos we will cover all the type of questions. Okay, to start with, today we are going to talk about the bar graph. So without any wasting time, let's begin. Okay, we are taking an example of this bar graph. Okay, so basically what you should know about the bar graph is that you should know how to read the bar graph. Okay, so if we have a look at the bar graph, so this is vertical side and this is horizontal side. Okay, so vertical side percentages are given, that is 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and on the horizontal things, countries are given. Okay, so let's read this question and try to understand what is being asked. Okay, so the question is, the bar chart shows the percentages of the total world population in 4 countries. Okay, so they are talking about 4 countries and they're talking about the population here. Okay, and also the years are given. So these are the years here: 1950, 2002, and 2050. So basically green represents 1950. So all this green here, 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 this is the data for 1950. Blue represent 2002. This is here, blue here. Okay, and yellow represent 2050. So 2050 is, of course, I mean, the year has not come, so it will be predictions, right? So the question, let's read the question again. It says, the bar chart shows the percentages of total world population in 4 countries in 1950 and 2002 and projections for 2050. Okay, you should write at least 150 words. All right, so this is the type of question or the bar graph you might get in the exam. Okay, right. So before we even start think about writing the task 1 bar graph, we have to know the structure. What is the structure that we have to follow? Okay, so in this bar graph, how do we write the structure of this writing? So we have to make 4 paragraphs. First, introduction, overall statement, body paragraph 1 and 2, and sometimes you can make 3 as well, or I would suggest try to make 2, but if there's more data, you can of course make 3. Okay, some students also write this oral statement after the body paragraph 2, which is also correct. You can write here as well or here as well. So okay, so there's nothing wrong, right? But introduction has to be the first one and the body paragraph has to be there. Okay, So let's try to understand how to write each of these things, okay, for the bar graph. Okay, we're gonna start with the introduction. Okay, so how do we write the introduction? So basically, let's read the question. So introduction is nothing but just the paraphrasing of this question. Okay, so whatever the question is given, we have to write all this information in our own words, or we have to use the synonyms. We call this different words with the same meaning. Okay, all right, so let's try to understand this. The bar chart shows. So can we change this word here? Can we find synonyms of bar chart? No, because bar chart is a bar chart. Okay, so we cannot. Shows, can we find any synonym of shows? Yes, we can. Like, we can say illustrates, or it provides information, or the bar chart depicts. Okay, so all three words we can use any of these. Okay, the percentage, can we find the synonym of percentage? Yes, you can say proportion. Okay, right. Okay, of the total world population. Okay, total, no synonym, probably no. And world population, can we find the synonym world population? Yes, we can say it global population. Okay, right. In 4 countries. Okay, any synonym for countries? Yes, you can say 4 nations. Okay, in 1950 and 2002, and projections for 2050. So any synonym for projections? Yes, we can say predictions. Okay, all right, so now we have sorted out like the synonyms. So what the words we're going to use. All right, so after you have figured out the synonyms, or the words, or the different words which you're going to use in introduction, okay, you should write your introduction by using those words. Okay, so if you read this introduction, the bar chart illustrates. So I've used illustrates rather than show. Okay, the proportion, percentage is replaced by proportion. Global population, yeah, there you go. World population is a global population. Okay, in 4 nations. Countries is a nation. And finally, predictions. Okay, so see, the bar chart illustrates the proportion of global population in 4 nations in 2 years, 1950 and 2002, and also predictions for 2050. So we have written all the information which is given in the question. Okay, and we have made our introduction. There's one more thing which you can do here is, while you writing 4 nations, you can write the name of the 4 countries here in the bracket: India, China, US, and Japan. Okay, that is also allowed, and using the bracket information is good for academic writing. All right, so I hope writing introduction is clear to you. So basically, introduction is nothing but just the paraphrasing of the question. Paraphrasing, I mean that you have to write the information in your own words. So basically you have to use different words, okay, which means the same, like we have used here. We have replaced show with illustrate, we have replaced countries with nations, we have replaced world population with global population. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So first part of the writing is done, that is introduction. Okay, let's move on to the next part. All right, next part is overall statement. Now, to write overall statement, we have to study this paragraph in detail. Okay, so for example, these are the percentages of population and countries here. So let's try to study this. Okay, so we are talking about India first. So India in green is 1950. Okay, in 1950 India was 15%. In 2002 India was around 17%, and in 2050 India will be around 19%. Okay, so basically this is increasing. Okay, talking about the China, in 1950 it was around 23%. Okay, in 2002 it reduced to 20%. In 2050 it is expected to decrease by 15%. Okay, so basically this is decreasing. And if you talk about the US, is the same, it's decreasing, and Japan is decreasing. Okay, so did we find something that is very common here? That is, these three countries, China, US, and Japan, these are decreasing, whereas India is increasing. Okay, all right, so this could be one of the overall statement. Okay, let's have a look at the overall statement. So overall statement says, overall the figures for proportion of world population decreased for all countries except India. So see, so all of three are decreasing and India is the only one that is going up. Okay, which is expected to even be the highest in 2050. So see this yellow part here. So yellow represents the population for 2050. So India will be the highest in terms of population in 2050, right? So additionally, India is the only country where the percentage of the world population is expected to have increased by 2050. So what I've used here is that in 2050, India is the only one which is increasing. Otherwise, see, the China is decreasing, this is decreasing, and this is decreasing as well. Okay. So basically, overall statement is nothing. It's just the overall view that you get by having a glance at the diagram or at the bar graph. Okay. Some students also write overall statement by taking the highest or the lowest. That is also correct. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So you can say the highest population, recorded in the given bar graph was for China in 1950, and the lowest is expected to be of Japan in 2050. Okay, so you can write the highest and the lowest also, but it's better to write the trends, like what are the trends, increasing or decreasing. Okay, if you can do a little bit of detailed study of this bar graph, it's really easy to find the trends. And always remember, this in overall statement, you should write at least 2 sentences. Okay, not just one. I hope this overall statement is clear to you. All right, if you have any questions, you can drop down in the comments. I'll be able to answer this from there. Let's move on to the next part of this bar graph. Here comes the body paragraphs. So let me tell you, before you even start writing the body paragraphs, we have to do a bit of a planning. Okay, so what do I mean by planning is that, so here is the bar graph given, and we have to write all the data, okay, in the body paragraphs. Also, please note that in overall statement, you never write the figures, like how we have written 2%, 5%, 2.5% here. We normally do not write the figures here. We just write increasing, decreasing, okay, up, going down, okay, the trends. Okay, coming back to this body paragraph. So what I mean by planning is that we have to plan like how many paragraphs we're gonna make. We're gonna make 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, or 3 paragraph. Okay, and what we're gonna write in each paragraph, because it is really important that we make the best structure of, because the writing is also marked on the coherence and cohesion, in which they check the structure of your writing. Okay, so it's very important that you should plan that how many paragraphs we're gonna make and what you're gonna write in each paragraph. So there are 4 countries given. Okay, so you can plan that what you're going to include in each paragraph. For example, you can do, so in this graph, you can follow 2 structure. Okay, number 1 will be the country wise. For example, you can, first paragraph you can talk about 2 countries, and second paragraph you can talk about another 2 countries. Okay, or there's one more method which you can do year wise. So like the 3 years are given here, so you can talk about 1950 and 2002 in one paragraph, and 2050 in the next paragraph. Why I'm making next paragraph for 2050? Because this is just the prediction. Okay, so you will need to use the future tense, and these are the past years, so you will need to use the past tense. Okay, so that'll be easy for you to write. So 1950 and 2002 in the one paragraph, and 2050 in the next paragraph. Okay, or India, China in one paragraph, US, Japan in the next paragraph. Okay, Whatever way you want to go, both are correct. Nothing is wrong with that. Okay, so I have chosen to go year wise. All right. So let's just go through this first body paragraph information here. So in 1950 and 2002, China made up the greatest proportion of the world population. So if you look at the China here, yes, so see in 1950 and 2002, China was the greatest. That's correct. Despite a slight decrease in its figures from approximately 23% to 20%. Okay, so yes, in 1950 it was 23%, and in 2002 it decreased to 20%. Similarly, USA and Japan also experienced a decline of 2% and 2.5% respectively. So USA and Japan here. So decrease for USA was 2% and Japan was 2.5%. See, whenever we use this word respectively, means first data belongs to the first country, second data belongs to the second country. All right, that's why we use this word respectively here. In contrast, the opposite could be seen in India, where the figures increased from approximately 15 to 17%. So as we discussed before, India is increasing, so 15% to 17% in 2002. This paragraph clearly gives us idea that we are talking about these 2 years, so it looks little organized. Okay, so that's what we have to take care of. We have to make sure that our writing is looking well structured and organized. Okay, so in the first body paragraph we have covered 1950 and 2002. Now let's move on to the second body paragraph, in which we are going to cover the predictions for the population for 2050. Okay, here we go. The second body paragraph is talking about 2050. So as you can see from the first word here, that this paragraph is talking about the 2050 population. So let's just go through this. The figures for China and Japan are predicted to continue drop to around 15% and 2% respectively. Okay, so China and Japan, they are decreasing. Let's use this Japan. So as I've explained before, 15% belongs to the first one and 2% belongs to the second one. Why? Because we have used the word respectively. This is a very important word for the writing task 1. Okay, while the figures for USA is likely to remain unchanged at 5%. So this is the same for the 2002 and will be the same in the future as well. Meanwhile, India's percentage of the world population is projected to continue rising 19%. So India is rising on the top, so it's 19% here. Okay, so see, it is well structured essay. Now let me just make it a full structure. Okay, so final writing will something look like this. So here is the introduction, overall statement, first body paragraph, sorry, until here it is, and the second body paragraph. Okay, so always remember, this structure, like introduction, overall statement, first body paragraph, second body paragraph, this structure remains the same for most type of questions in the IELTS academic task 1 writing. Okay, so even it's pie chart, table, line graph, bar graph, or other sorts of diagrams, 99% of the time structure will be the same. Okay, there's no change of structure. So if you learn this structure, okay, it will be easy for you to learn the remaining types of questions. All right, please let us know if you have any doubts or any questions related to this. Okay, and the next videos we will be covering all the types of questions of task 2. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope to see you in the next video.